Welcome everybody to the 14th chapter. Hopefully we will complete this chapter today. This is a very important chapter. So 13, 14 and 15 are very important chapters and they talk about Jnana Yoga. So the yoga of knowledge, which is the quintessential thing to get liberated. So this is a very crucial and important chapter that way. Okay. So let me adjust the screen so I can see everybody. Right. Good. So we completed the guna. So we are entering the portion on the gunatita. So gunatita lakshana. So let's look at this. Okay. So we are here. We completed these two portions. So this is how this chapter is organized. So remember, 13th and 14th talk about the Brahman or the Atma. And it says what Atma is not by Drik Drishya Viveka. It says that anything which is the object, an object, cannot be you. You, the Atma. And that is the content of the 13th chapter. So it negates anything that's the object. Whatever you see, the mind is something you see in meditation. So it is not you. It is not the Atma. The consciousness is different. Similarly, in this chapter, it says that anything which has qualities, red, blue, angry, the beautiful, all smiling, all those are qualities. Anything that has qualities cannot be you. The mind has anger, so it cannot be you. So that is how this removes everything that has a quality, because Atma by definition has no qualities. Now Arjuna asks about the Gunatita. Gunatita, so remember there are three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Even the Sattva binds one. So we talked about this last time. A Sattvic person is attached to knowledge. The person wants to keep getting more and more degrees, wants to learn. He or she is very offended by loud noise. They want to study. They want a quiet, calm place. They want good food, all that. Clean food, clean environment. So that can be a bondage, because if they don't have that, they'll get affected. So transcending the three gunas. That's why Krishna says, you transcend all three gunas. So this is a very important portion. Gunatitam, 19 and 20. I put a star mark. Swamiji says in the entire chapter, 19 and 20 verses, 20th verses are the most important verses. Okay. Let's go into that. So why transcend the three gunas? Because ahankara, ego, or the lower self cannot escape the gunas. Whatever be the type of guna, bondage cannot be avoided. We saw that even a sattvic person cannot avoid bondage. The only solution to the suffering is to escape the three gunas. That is, become a gunatitaha. One atitaha means, gunatitaha means one who has transcended. Atitaha means transcending the three gunas. How to transcend the gunas? It is by stopping identifying with ahankara. That is the ego. And then you start identifying with sakshi. So stop identifying with ahankara and start identifying with sakshi, or the witness consciousness. This is what is discussed next. Remember what gunas are like properties. We saw the example of this pot. Remember, in one of the previous slides, we saw the example of this. Yeah. The water is neither hot nor cold. Heat in the water is an incidental property borrowed from the fire. So if you consider the body like water, the heat is like the consciousness. The consciousness, it is not inherent to your body. It comes from this entity, this Brahman, or the fire, which pervades everywhere. Because water it's a conducting medium, thermal conductivity, how well it conducts, or how good your mind is, how well reflective it is, it's like a guna. Like if you put some other liquid, that may not conduct heat well and it won't get hot. Whereas water conducts heats well. So thermal conductivity of water is like a guna. Similarly, how your mind reflects this consciousness, it tells whether the mind is sharp or dull. Okay, in the Yoga Sutras, it says there are 5 types of minds: Shipta, Muda, Vikshipta, Ekagra, and Rudda. So all these 5, Shipta and Vikshipta. So Shipta and Muda, they're not suitable for yoga. Vyasa says. Okay, so we want to know. That's why you have to. Only solution to the suffering is to escape the 3 gunas, become a gunatita. How to transcend the gunas? Stop identifying with ahankara, stop identifying with the body or the mind, and start identifying with the sakshi or the witness consciousness. This is discussed next. Nanyam gunepya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेति madbhavam sodikachati. Okay, so here says, Bhagavan says, when the seer perceives the doer to be none other than the gunas and knows that the self is beyond the gunas, then that person attains my nature. So this we've seen in the 5th chapter. We just chanted the 5th chapter. When a person realizes that what is doing is actually the gunas, what is doing all the actions, and that the self is, remember, the self is like electricity. It just blesses anything. If you are wound up like a fan, you will produce wind. If you are wound up like a bulb, you will produce light. So that is how it is. So all these are the properties, the winding property, they're all composed of gunas. So a fan has a certain guna, a bulb has a certain guna. So when a seer perceives the doer to be none other than the gunas and knows the self to be beyond the gunas, then that person attains my nature. So as I said, 19 and 20 are the most important verses. So let's look at the shloka. Yada drashta kartaram anupashyati. Yada means when. So we hear yada drashta kartaram anupashyati. When the seer sees the doer, drashta is a seer. Kartaram is the doer, kartaram, the one who does. Anupashyati means follows, when the seer or sees the doer as na anya ayam gunebhya, none other than these gunas. Na anya means other, ayam gunebhya, and these gunas, I am these gunas. Cha veti, and that person knows, cha veti, na I am, na I am gunebhya. So none other than the na anya I am gunebhya, none other than these gunas. Chaveti, and knows what? That the self. It's not, it's implied here. Gunebhya param is beyond the guna. Gunebhyascha param veti, and knows that, then that person madbhavam sa adhigacchati. Gacchati means attains. This person certainly attains, adhigacchati, for sure attains my, verily attains my nature. Okay. So this is called a mahavakyam. So we've seen mahavakyam. One of the mahavakyam we've seen before is tat tvam asi. That is, that thou art. That's a mahavakyam. This is also a mahavakyam because it says that the seer is not the gunas. The doer is nothing but the gunas. So that is the mahavakyam that is described here. Okay? So the mahavakyam is a great equation in the Vedas that states the identity of the Jivatma and Paramatma. That is oneness of the Jivatma and Paramatma. So here the oneness is self is beyond, the actual self is beyond the gunas. So there are hundreds of mahavakyams in the Upanishads. 4 representative mahavakyams, one from each Veda, is given next. So these are very commonly known Mahavakyams. One is Prajnanam Brahma. That is, the knowledge of Brahman is not intuition of Brahman, but itself is Brahman. So this is the important thing. Knowledge of Brahman is Brahman. So once you realize the knowledge, you have the knowledge of Brahman, you become Brahman. So that's what it says. You don't need to do anything else. Once you know that, that's why it's Moksha, you become Brahman. You won't have a rebirth. This Mahavakya is found in Aitreya Upanishad of Rig Veda. Then the famous one, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. This Mahavakya, this we all know. Tattvam, the teacher says, Tat Tvam Asi, that you are. And the student says, oh, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. So this is how it's done. This Mahavakya is found in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of the Shukla Yajurveda. So you have Rig Veda, Yajurveda, then Samaveda. Tattvam Asi, that you are, that Brahman is you, the Atma. This Mahavakya is found in the Chandogya Upanishad of the Samaveda. And finally, I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is that Brahman. This is found in Mandukya Upanishads of the Atharva Veda. Okay. Now continuing, so the next important shloka, Gunanetanatītyatrin Dehi Deha Samudbhavan Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkai Vimukto Mritam Ashnute. Having gone beyond these three gunas, which are the cause of rebirth, a person, okay, here Dehi, remember Dehi in the second chapter, Dehi always meant the embodied, the Atma. Sometimes it can mean the Sukshma Shariram. Here Dehi, the embodied one. So one with a body refers to just the person in general. The person is freed of birth, death, decay, and sorrow, and attains immortality. So having gone beyond the three gunas, which are the cause of rebirth. So gunas, when the gunas predominate, you keep getting rebirth. The person is freed of birth, death, decay, and sorrow, attains immortality. So you have to read this as Etan Guna, Etan Trin Gunan Atitya. So Gunan Etan Atitya Trin. So you have to read this Etan, these Trin Gunan Atitya. These three gunas, one who has transcended, one who has having transcended the three gunas, or not one who has transcended. Atitya means having transcended the three gunas, Deha Samudbhavan, which are the cause of rebirth. Deham, this body, Samudbhavam. Samudbhavam means creation of the body. What causes this body? It is from the gunas. It's basically a karma that it again comes. So, which are the cause of rebirth. Dehi, this person. Remember, Dehi here refers to Jivatma, simply a person. Here it's not the Atma. Okay? But it is the Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana Shariram, plus the borrowed consciousness. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkai, Vimuktaha is freed from Janma, birth, Mrityu, death, Jara is decay, Dukkha is sorrow, Vimuktaha means freed. Okay? So, Atitya means transcending. Jnana Phalam is clearly mentioned here. So, this is the fruit of transcending the three gunas. So, the three gunas represents the three sharirams, the five koshas, in short, the entire anatma. Instead of claiming I'm the body, I say that I have a body gifted for temporary use. When I discover the fact that I am the Sakshi, I learn to look at my body objectively. Jnani is here called the Gunatitaha, one who has transcended the three gunas. So far, is it clear to everybody? Yeah. So these two are the most important shlokas in this chapter. Bhagavan says why you should rise beyond all three gunas, even sattva, which is better than rajas and tamas, even that causes bondage. Okay. So finally, Gunatita Lakshanam. Now, Arjuna so far has not talked. So, in this chapter, if you see, in the 13th chapter, so Arjuna asks question here in the 14th chapter, Bhagavan straight away starts talking. And now Arjuna is going to ask a question, and he asks about Gunatita Lakshanani and traits of one who has transcended the three gunas, and how to become one who has transcended the three gunas. Remember, in the second chapter, he has Sthita Prajna, one who is of stable wisdom. Sthita Prajna ka bhasha kim. How does he walk? How does he speak? All that. Yes, very interested. Now he's asking about the Gunatitam, one who has transcended the gunas, about the Lakshana, means the traits of such a person. So, Arjuna Uvacha Kairlingai Strin Gunan Etan Athito Bhavati Prabho Kimachara Katam Chaitan Strin Gunanati Vartate. Arjuna said, O Lord, what characteristics does one who has transcended the three gunas be recognized by? How do I recognize a person who has transcended the three gunas? What is the person's conduct, and how does that person rise above the three gunas? Kair lingai. So, ka lingai means by what characteristics? Etan trin gunan atitaha, one who has transcended these three gunas. Atitaha means transcended. Bhavati means becomes recognized by. Kim acharaha, what is that achara? Means conduct. What is the person's conduct? Katam cha etan trin gunan ativartate. Katam, how does one etan, these three gunas, ativartate, how can one rise above the three gunas? How one can transcend these three gunas? So that's his question. So here, basically, he's asking, how does a jnani look like? So it's a joke. Jnanis, should they have a beard, wear saffron robes, look like this? No. So Vedanta has no mysticism. So jnani is just an ordinary person. Jnani does not do super feats like a yogi. They can lift all mountains, all those things. The jnani has no such requirement. They may, but there's no requirement. So jnani can just look like anyone else. Jnani, the Vedanta generally avoids mysticism. You see, in yoga, there's all this, because Yoga Sutra is a scientific document. So the third chapter talks fully about siddhis because it's scientific. But generally, even Patanjali says, all these are distractions in the mortal world. Okay, so he very clearly uses that term, that in the mortal world, these siddhis are nothing but distractions. Okay, now Bhagavan answers Arjuna's question. So 22 and 23 are one full sentence. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prakasham cha pravrittim cha Mohan eva cha Pandava Nadveshti sampravrittani Nanivrittani kamshati Udasinavadasinah Gunaityo na vichalyate Guna vartanta ityevam yovatishtati nengate. Okay, so shlokas 22 and 23 answer to question number 1. What's the question? First question, what are the marks of one who has transcended the three gunas? So Bhagavan says, Prakasham cha pravrittim cha. Prakasha here, so it refers to sattva. So in the Yoga Sutras also, the gunas are called as Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Shilam Bhutendriyatmakam Bhoga Apavargartam Drishyam. So let's go to that. So The three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, they are called prakasha, illumination, sattva. Sattva is the nature of light, bright and illuminating, removing darkness. Rajas is of the nature of action, kriya, action. And tamas is inertia, grounding. There is lack of intelligence, right? So, prakasha, kriya, sthiti, shilam, bhutendriyatmakam, bhoga, apavargartham drishyam. It consists of bhutas and the indriyas, and its purpose is bhoga, experience, pleasurable, and apavarga, liberation. That is the purpose of the prakriti. That's what Yoga Sutras say. Now, coming back to here. So here, prakasham, pravrittim, moham. The three gunas. Sattva is prakasham, pravritti is rajas, because activity is rajas, moham, delusion is tamas. Okay? They, the ones who have transcended the guna of Pandava, do not hate lightness, activity, and delusion as they arise, nor do they crave them as they withdraw. Natveshti sampravruttani, as they arise, as they develop, they don't hate. At the same time, when they withdraw, they don't crave after them. See, look at the words he's used. It's not like they are craving and then when they're enjoying and when it goes away, they're desperate. He says when they arise, sometimes they don't want it, but at the same time, when they go away, they want it because there are some parts of it which are good. So they want the good things. They want the good gunas. They want the good things that come out of the gunas. Even rajas, some people have rajasic disposition. They party and do a lot of these things, late night parties, all very rajasic, and they develop some pleasure. So they don't crave them as they withdraw. So the one who has transcended the gunas, they do not hate, nor do they crave the gunas. Udasinavat asinaha, they remain. Asina means seated or remaining. Udasinam means unconcerned, indifferent. We've seen this. Bhagavan also says, Udasinavat asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Even though Bhagavan is creating all the worlds, he just remains neutral and he's doing all the actions, but he's unattached. Udasinavat asinam asaktam, unattached, teshu karmasu, without attached, unattached to the actions. They remain as if unconcerned, who are not disturbed by the gunas, who remain firm and do not waver. So, udasina vitasina means they remain seated as if unconcerned. Yah gunai na vichalyate, who are not here, gunair yo na vichalyate. Vichalyate means disturbed by, yo means who is not disturbed by these gunas. They are yet avathishtati na ingate. Ingate means to move or waver. Avathishtati, they remain firm. Yo avathishtati na ingate, they remain firm and don't waver. This person guna vartanta iti evam. So this they are guna vartanta iti eva means they know that it's the gunas that operate and not the I, the sakshi, that does the operation. Guna vartanta means it's the gunas that operates. Iti evam, they know so that it is the gunas that operate. They remain as if unconcerned. They are not disturbed by the gunas. They remain firm and they do not waver because they know that it's the gunas that operate and it's not they, the sakshi, that operates. It is the qualities of the matter which shed light. So if you have a crystal and you red crystal, you pass light, plain light, it comes out as red. And why is there a color red? But it is the guna of the crystal. So they know that everything is colored by the gunas. So shlokas 24 and 25 answers Arjuna's question. the second question, Gunatita Acharaha. What is the conduct of a Gunatita? How do they respond to worldly situations? So 24 and 25 are going to answer that. Okay, so the first question is answered. What is the marks of one who has transcended the gunas? Now, how to transcend? What's the conduct of a gunatita? How do they respond to worldly situations? Sama dukkha sukha swastha samaloshtāshma kanchanaha tulya priya priyo dhiraha tulya nindatma samsutihi manapamanayostulyah tulyo mitrari pakshayoh sarvaramba parityagi gunatitassa uchyate. So this is both one sentence, so it's chanted together. Sama, dukkha, sukha, swastaha. Sama, dukkha, sukha means balanced in pleasure and pain. Swastaha means the self-abiding person. Swastam, astam, swa, astam means self-abiding. Sama, loshta, ashma, kanchanaha. So we've seen the sama, loshta, ashma, kanchanaha in the 6th chapter also. This person seeds loshta, a clod of earth, ashma, a stone, kanchanaha, a piece of gold, as samam, as the same, balanced in pleasure and pain. The self-abiding person sees a clod of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold as the same. Then tulya priya apriyo, they are same in agreeable and disagreeable situation. Dhiraha, they are firm. And tulya ninda atma samstitihi. Ninda means blame. Atma samstitihi means somebody who's praising them. So, and same in blame and praise. Okay. So tulya is used to mean the same instead of samam, which is used in the 6th chapter. In the 2nd chapter, here the word used is tulya. Tulya means same. And in the 6th chapter, we saw the same verse. So let me go to that. So in the 6th chapter, we saw the same phrase. Samaloshtāshma kanchanaha. Jnana vijnana truptatma kūtalsto vijitendriyaha yukta ityuchyate yogi samaloshtāshma kanchanaha. That yogi is called steadfast, who is content in knowledge and wisdom of the self, who is unshaken, and has conquered the senses, to whom a mud, a stone, and a gold are the same. This is one definition of a yogi. So you can see all this are kind of blending into one. Eventually, a yogi with jnani, they're all like one. One who has transcended the 3 gunas is a jnani, and the yogi also is there. So when a yogi advances, the yogi becomes a jnani. Okay. All right. Then the second, mana pamanayostulyaha, same in honor and dishonor. Mana, apamana, honor and dishonor. Tulyo mitrari pakshayo, same. Mitra is a friend, ari is a foe, pakshayo. Paksham means side, same towards a friend and a foe, on the side of a friend and on the side of a foe. That's all it means. Tulyo mitrari pakshayo sarvaramba parityagi, renouncer of all actions. Renouncing of all actions means not just doing it, renouncing the fruits of all actions mentally. Jnana karma sannyasa, renouncing actions with the knowledge that I am not the doer, but it's just my mind-body complex which is doing. Remember the 4th chapter we saw, renouncing, physically you have to do actions for maintain the body, but renouncing it mentally without craving the fruits and knowing it is because I operate, I have to interact with the world, so I have to do, but I, the witness, is silently observing. So you're kind of detached from the actions. So the actions will be of high quality. Okay, that's what it means. One who has renouncer of all actions, Gunatita Sauchate. So he's defining Gunatita, one who has transcended three gunas, has these traits. So Arjuna's second question, remember, what are the traits of a Gunatita? So um, Kim Acharaha, Katham Gunatitan Adivartate. How can one, the last question is, how does that person rise above the three gunas? So the second has been answered. What is that person's conduct or trait? So this is the person's conduct or trait. The person is balanced in honor, dishonor towards friend and a foe. It's a renouncer of all actions, and the person is a Gunatita. So then Bhagavan continues, Mam cha yopya vicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuya yakalpate. And one who worships me with the yoga of unswerving devotion, that person, having gone beyond the gunas, is fit for becoming a Brahman. So finally, Bhagavan answers the third part. What's the secret? One who worships me with the yoga of unswerving devotion, that person will go beyond the gunas and will be fit for becoming Brahman. And what will happen? Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ikantikasya cha. For look at all this asya. I am the abode of the immortal. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Pratishta means I am the here abode or like firm place. Pratishtha means establishment. I am, or the abode. I am the abode of the, what kind of a Brahman? Amritasya avyayasya brahmano hi pratishtaham. Amritasya, immortal, avyayasya. Vyayam means change. Avyayam means unchanging Brahman. Shashvatasya, eternal. Shashvata means eternal. Cha dharmasya, and eternal dharma. And sukhasya ikantikasya cha, and absolute sukha. Sukhasya ikantikasya cha means absolute ekantam means absolute. Ekanta sukhasya cha. So, and absolute unconditional bliss. So, with that, the chapter is over. Before we go, is there anything to cover? Okay. So, here Bhagavan basically says that once that person has transcended the gunas, that person is ready for attaining the Brahman. Okay. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Chaturtashodhyayah. Okay.